BookTube! Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do a quick September wrap-up. I almost forgot what month it was. So, September has come and gone, and I've read a total of 3 books. I know, it's not ideal, it's not great, but 3 books is better than 0 books, right? So, I'm quite happy with that. Plus, there's so much going on in my life. Like, guys, I'm doing my driving test this month, like in October. So, I've been practicing like crazy, and I still feel like I'm not ready. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that the examiner doesn't ask me to do parallel parking, because I cannot, for the life of me, do that. It's the only maneuver I can't do, so I'm hoping I don't get asked to do that one. But anyway, let's get on with our books, shall we? Okay, so the first book I read in the month of September was Percy Jackson and the Titan's Curse by Rick Riordan. This one here, it's a beautiful, beautiful cover. Yes, so this is the 3rd book in the Percy Jackson series. Percy Jackson and... what do you call this series? It's the very first one. The very first Percy Jackson series. It's Percy Jackson and the Olympians, I'm guessing? I'm not sure. It doesn't say. It doesn't say here. So anyway, it's the 3rd book in the series, and I have to say I'm a little bit disappointed. It's more of the same. You know, I loved the first book, Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. The second book was, yeah, it was good. It was good, like better than average. But the 3rd one, it's the same formula. You know what I mean? It's just a series of small battles, and we know that Percy Jackson is going to be okay at the end, because, you know, the series is about him. And so, you know, it's lots of little battles throughout the books, and then there's a big battle at the end. That's it, basically, okay? That's what Percy Jackson books are like. And so I'm getting a little bit tired of this series. I'm not sure, I mean, I want to finish it just for the sake of finishing a series, because I don't like starting something and then not finishing it. So I might still finish the series by the end of the year, because there are certain series I want to finish by the end of the year, because, you know, they've been out for ages, like this one, and I still haven't finished them. So, yeah, I'll try to finish it, but I'm not really looking forward to the next few books. No. Oh well. Now, the next book I read was actually a buddy read with the girls from Brews and Reviews, Kat and Han. And it is Shadow and Bone, the first book in the Grisha trilogy. The first book in the Grisha trilogy by Leigh Bardugo. Because, you know, I've been wanting to read Six of Crows. What's wrong with me? I can speak today. Let me try that again. I've been meaning to read Six of Crows for a very long time. But a lot of people have been telling me that I should read the Grisha trilogy first, just so I have a nice introduction into the world, and, you know, I can get more out of the Six of Crows duology. So that's what I'm doing. This is the first one, Shadow and Bone. I love this purple cover. You can see a little pattern going on here, you know. Purple covers all around in the month of September. Anyway, Shadow and Bone, it was a brilliant quick read. It was a buddy read, so we had agreed to read, I think it was 3 chapters a day. But then halfway through the book, we're like, no, we need to know what's happening. We need to know what's going on, you know. We need to know how this ends. So we increased the number to 4 chapters a day, so we could just get through it faster. And it's such an enjoyable book. It's such a quick read, and, you know, it's my very first Leigh Bardugo book, and I can see why there's such a hype around her name. Like, that girl is good. I mean, it's such simple writing. It's very simple, so it's easy to read. You know, you just fly through her books, and they're very action-packed. I don't think there were any slow parts in the book. I mean, it wasn't like fight, 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 you know. You know, there is a plot, obviously, but it wasn't too slow. It was perfect. It was perfect pacing, and the world building is just amazing. So yes, I highly recommend reading this one. And the third and last book I read in September was Clockwork Princess, which is amazing. Look at that. I mean, it's the third book, it's the final book in the Infernal Devices trilogy. And there's such a hype around these books that I was a little bit worried going into them. But oh my goodness, the hype is real. Like, this is an amazing book. Clockwork Princess. Like, I mean, I did something really stupid, really, okay? Going into Cassandra Clare's books. Okay, I read the Mortal Instruments first. Then I went on to her more recent trilogy, which is The Dark Artifices. You know, Lady Midnight, Lord of Shadows, and goodness knows what else is coming next. But, yeah, so I read those, and then I decided to pick up the Infernal Devices, which was a little bit silly, I have to say, because the more recent books have a few spoilers for this trilogy. So, you know, reading this, I knew what was going to happen to a couple of characters, okay? I knew what was coming, but I didn't know how we were gonna get there. So that was, you know, interesting. Anyway, I loved this trilogy. It's absolutely amazing. It's set in Victorian London, which was a long time ago, for those of you who don't know. Yes, it's, oh my goodness, I don't even have words to describe this series without giving any spoilers away. Just read it, okay? Read it. Even if you haven't read any Cassandra Clare books, okay? Any of her books, read The Infernal Devices because it's a good trilogy. I mean, the books are quite chunky, but they're good. I mean, they're really good stories. It made me cry. I mean, the end of this trilogy. Oh my goodness, it's so tragic. It's so tragic. But you can't help but love it. It's a skill that Cassandra Clare has. I mean, I know it's an unpopular opinion, but I'm just gonna have to say it anyway. She's not the best writer out there, okay? There are obvious tropes and things that she does, which she shouldn't really, because, you know, it's so overdone. And I won't go into detail, but I don't think she is the best writer out there for young adult books. But I have to say, the story behind these books here, the story, the plot, the characters, the world, it's just so amazing, guys. It's brilliant. So yes, if you haven't yet, pick up the Infernal Devices. The first one is Clockwork Angel, and then comes Clockwork Prince, and then you get to read Clockwork Princess, which is the most tragic of them all, but there's a satisfying end to this trilogy. You know, there's a reason why this trilogy is so hyped. Okay, and now I'm currently reading, I was hoping to finish these books by the end of September, but obviously I didn't, because, you know, life. Okay, so I'm reading the second book in the Grisha trilogy, which is Siege and Storm by Leigh Bardugo. So far, it's just as good as the first book. I mean, I'm about 2/3 of the way through, and I'm loving this. I can get enough of this story. It's just so good. I'm kind of scared of finishing this book, actually, because I'm on a book buying ban at the moment. I'm not allowed to buy any books. So it might be a while before I get the third one in the trilogy. So I'm reading very slowly so I can, you know, take my time with it and hopefully get the third book soon. Okay, and the second book I'm reading right now is Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. This is actually the fourth book in the Throne of Glass series, and I'm really loving it. It's just as interesting as the first three books. I mean, I love these characters so much. I care about them. I want to know what happens to the Queen of Shadows. Now, I know I'm not the only one who thinks like this, but Sarah J. Maas, the way she writes, it's good and it's interesting. She's a brilliant writer, but it takes ages to read her books. At least for me and a few other booktubers I've heard out there. It takes forever for some of us to get through her books. Plus this one is quite long, like it's a chunky one, see? 642 pages, like it's not something you're going to read in one sitting, right? So, you know. Anyway, but the story's so good, you have to keep on reading. I'm on page 34. But I'm not giving up. I'm going to read this, I'm going to finish it, and I know I'm going to love it. So yes, currently reading Queen of Shadows. So that was it for my September wrap up. I hope you liked it. Have you read any of these books? What did you think about them? Do you have any recommendations for when I'm done with these? You know, just anything. If you want to talk to me, comment down below or follow me on my other social media places. You know, I'm everywhere. So yeah. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, click the thumbs up. If you're new here, click that subscribe button. I think it's on this side. I always get confused, I don't know. Just click the subscribe button then. If you're not new here, hi, welcome back to my channel. I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.